Yeah, let's just transition straight into the open mic, Pat, and
Okay.
you can kind of MC us through the questions in the open.
You got it.
In the panel. But as she's getting ready to do that, I just want to really thank and recognize. I'm always I've been very focused on Connect as well as the DP2 features. But when Pat puts that together and just gives us a rundown in about 45 minutes of all the other small but important features that have been added by Dave and Tom and Brian over the last 6 to 12 months, it's impressive to me. I think that that field sequence feature was actually discussed during our last open mic, so that's a really pretty powerful thing. So thanks for the idea for that, wherever it came from last time. Just want to reinforce how important it is that your inputs are really driving where we go with DP2. So thank you, Tom and Dave and Brian. Great job. And Pat for showcasing it so well. So
You're
Pat,
welcome. So now, I was going to say now it's time for everybody to turn their cameras on. And
yep.
I will.
This is the DP2 team online here. Yep.
Yeah. There we go. Okay. I lost my mouse. There we are. Are we all there?
Yeah, we're all.
Who are we missing?
We're here.
Oh, we're missing Kathy. Is she coming back on? Okay. All right.
So, do you have a question queued up there that you wanted to start with?
We have a bunch. Yeah. So
okay.
The first one is, can you manage fields for the subject info table as well? Hi, Penny. I actually don't know the answer to that. Dave.
So there are some answers to these questions.
Okay.
So,
there are.
And my response was yes. And any grid view where you have that row of buttons at the top and you see a fields button, you should be able to set up a field sequence for that view. So that was the first question from Penny.
Okay, and I see that in Penny, I can show them if you want at one point, but yeah, so the answer is yep, I see it. Okay.
So the next question was, will it default to the what was used when you closed the window? And the answer is yes. So there's one additional thing that I didn't mention. It's per user is the way I'm storing it currently. So each user can have their own preference, and we'll look for that user what their last used field sequence was when we open that window the next time. So it's by user, it's stored that way. The next question was about resequencing the order of the fields, and if you want to show that, Pat, again.
Sure. Okay.
So there's a little control. There's a little control.
Let me just maneuver things a slight bit.
Sequence setup screen, where you can drag those fields up and down.
Hold on a second. Give me a chance to share DP2 again. Here we go. Okay, let me share my screen again.
Or I could, it'll probably take
okay.
me
I can
to figure out how to do it. I couldn't even figure out how to answer a question.
I just needed, there we go. I just wanted to make sure that I had the right window open. Okay, there we go. All right, so can you tell me what you want me to do, Dave?
So any of the grid views you have open, doesn't matter which one, bring up the like you have it open for subject info. That's actually the one that was that Penny was asking about. So there's the button we were talking about, the fields button.
Yep.
So bring up the manage field sequences screen, and just go ahead and set one up real quick.
Okay. Do you care if it's system, workstation, or user? Okay.
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
So then, just go ahead and add a few fields. And we'll also explain what the asterisk at the top means while we're at it, because we didn't talk about that.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
So once you've added them in, there's a little control on the left-hand side of the middle column that you can click on. So if you wanted to drag ID around, for example, you can click on that and drag it down or drag it up. So whatever you want to do here.
I neglected to demonstrate that. Sorry about that, Dave.
And then the asterisk field means add all other fields that weren't explicitly specified. And the way that works today anyways is those fields have to go at the end. At least that's the way we've implemented it. So if you tried to drag that asterisk field up, Pat, it's not going to let you because we require that always to be the last entry. That's what that looked like.
Okay, I gotta drag the pod back over, the question pod. Let me just see. Can you see that? No, oh, you don't see that. Okay.
I think that was all the field
So then-
sequence questions. Now the next
So then
one,
it said, oh, go ahead. Oh, I'm gonna let you take care of it then.
well, the next one is
Go
kind
for
of
it.
interesting because Penny pointed out that
Yeah.
minimizing the render engine to the lower left covers up the status bar. Now I'm thinking that Tom must have prompted her to.
I did not, but I
It was a
guarantee
setup.
you,
Come on, Okay.
I did guarantee you someone was going to say that.
because we had a discussion one day when I was working on this stuff, and Tom pointed out that it was covering up the status bar, and I said no one reads those messages anymore, and so sure enough, this question comes in that it's covering up those messages. I refused to do anything about it after that meeting because I was sure that it didn't really matter. So I apologize, Penny, but so it looks like we might have to go back and revisit that. Now that's, in my defense, that's not actually new behavior. That's kind of the way Windows has always worked. One of the things that we were trying to fix was that it was covering up the other minimized windows, like any of these other types of windows that aren't dialogues. It was covering those up, and that's what I fixed, and that's when this whole issue came up. So once again, I guess Tom is right, I gotta say.
So Penny, I would just like to say your check is in the mail.
Dave, I would say you were right, Dave. We do want to wait till we get customer input.
Good one. Very good.
There you go. There
Thank you,
go.
Guy.
Yes.
So go ahead.
Okay.
The next one, I'm not. So next one is about
Actually, I don't know
export
that
entire
either.
product data. I
think
guess we
you
need to
can
know
do it.
more about.
So you
Tom, why
can
don't you
do
go ahead
it
and take that one? I don't
by-
know if you can do that from DP2.
Well,
We
you
all
can do
can't
it by
see the-
category.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
sorry.
could
See
you-
the questions.
Yeah, can you repeat the questions? Because not
Yes.
everybody's looking at the question panel.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. So the question is there a way to export the entire product table? I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to get rid of one window because I can't get back there. There we go.
Exported in what format?
Right, so if we were to, well, that's a good question. You're going to answer that, Penny? Can I unmute Penny? Wait, hold on a second. I got to go back over here. Oh, I'm going to have to. I don't think I can show DP2 and do this at the same time. Only because they overlap and I, okay. So let me see, Penny, let me find you and see if I can unmute you. Where are you? Can we set this up so they can unmute themselves or no? Hold on. Good heavens. I seem to have, oh, there we go. Oh, there you are. Okay. So I'm going to unmute, I'm going to send an unmute request to you, Penny. So now you should be able to unmute. There you go.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Fantastic. How are you?
Good. So did you hear Tom's question about what format do you want them exported in? You want to give us a little more info?
Yeah, I was just looking to be able to export into like a text file. We're just trying to clean up some of the naming conventions of some of the products. You know, after using it for so many years, we started one way, then we switched every year when new people come in. So I was just trying to look at cleaning up, you know, a particular tab in specifically, but it would be easier for me to see them all in a list and then be able to figure out how we want to name them and things like that. It only lets you grab 50 at a time. And of course, the folder that I want to do has 2,000. So I wanted to do it all at once.
So close that, dismiss that. Go back to that green
Yeah, yeah.
arrow there.
Yep.
Green, yeah. Go to find, or I mean, I'm sorry, go to categories. Just choose a category. Choose this one, so you got a bunch.
Oh, okay. All right, you want, okay. Leave this one. Okay.
Actually, I might still be in the wrong place. Hold on a second. Somewhere we have. Penny, once you mute yourself, you're giving us some background noise there.
Yeah. Thank you.
Let's see. I'm looking at my system just for a second.
Okay.
So try not clicking on any. Forget the green arrow for a second. I think I was wrong about that.
Okay. All right.
Just right click without selecting any. I think you'll see them all.
Right click without selecting. Okay.
Yep, don't select any and just right click. You should see them all.
Okay, so hang on. So you know what, Tom? I don't. Okay. So can somebody else actually, if I need to operate, can somebody else pick up the question pod? And
Tom, you're right. I just did exactly what you were telling. So I just right clicked in an open area without anything selected, and it looked like it brought me up the entire data box or data.
Yeah. That's kind of a consistent behavior for any of those windows where when you select some, it says you can't do more than 50 or 100. Almost
Gotcha.
in every single one of those, if you choose nothing, then we just do them all.
Gotcha. Yeah, I tried going to the table and say show all, but no, that worked. Okay. Question answered. Thank you.
okay. So then you write down, it's down here at the bottom, Penny, right? To the ability to export it.
Yep.
And you create, you know all about creating a format and all that stuff, right?
Oh yes, I'm good there. But
Okay.
I'm going to go to the next question in the list because it's mine too.
Okay. Let me go find you. Wait. Before, are you going to ask the question again so we can all get it?
I am.
Perfect. Thank you.
So in the product data table, if I have, like I said, I have one category, it's got like 2,000 items in it. Is there a way that I can resort them by the name of the product ID?
Sure,
So,
we're just talking about just
like
double
this?
clicking on the product header.
yeah.
I'm sorry, no, in the product window. So close that.
Oh, in here. Yeah, got it.
Right. So when you
So
see the
in
product,
here,
is there a way
you want
to
like a
sort them
sort?
by the name of the product?
Oh, no, I don't think we have that.
Yeah, no, I'm checking though. Right. I don't think so either.
We do have something like that
So
for
you're
the
looking-
images window.
Yep.
So it
Yeah,
is
let me
something
open-
we've done before, but we've never done it for this window.
Let me bring up this.
Will they reorganize if I change the sequence number in the data file?
Yes, they would. Yeah, that's what control. There's actually a sequence and subsequence, but just
Right here.
probably
here.
don't need to. Yeah, you probably don't need to subsequence. That's within a sequence, like for a book. You know, that'll keep all the pages of the book together. But yeah, if you were to change that, you would be reordering them.
But there's no way to import into this table to overwrite things, right? I would have to do it by hand.
Well,
Oh yeah. Yep.
Okay.
like, well, you could do it in you could probably do it in SQL, right?
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah.
say, I don't know if there's import-export tools in SQL Server management. You know, maybe you can export the data and
Yeah.
to a format and edit it and re-import it. But I've never tried it, but it might be possible.
Now wait a minute. I may have misspoken here. Like if you go back to that products window, go back to the icons
Yeah, yeah.
and just drag one around. Just drag one to the left, grab one and drag it to the left a little bit. I mean, that'll change the sequence also. Is that what you were asking for, Penny?
Yeah, but when I have like thousands of them, it's
2000,
hard to
yeah.
see where to move them from and to. It's not just a couple like this, but I have an idea. So you got me in the right direction.
Alrighty.
Good. Good. Thank you, Penny.
Tom, before
Very
Penny
good.
goes off and does a bunch of work on this, are you confident that it's the sequence field that's dictating the sequence of those product icons?
The sequence is the primary sort. And then if
Okay.
there's ties, they'll use the subsequence. That's done for books. So a book might be sequence 10, and each of the pages of the book might be, you know, subsequence 1, subsequence 2, so on and so
Right.
on.
Okay.
Yep, I'm positive of that.
Yeah, I'll test it a little bit before I go and try and do something major.
Okay.
Then you'll be the only one
Well,
that
let
knows
us
where
know.
your products are. And everybody else in the lab will say, where did my products go?
Oh, trust me, we'll be fine.
Okay, so here's a question from Chris Kane. With the new copy paste capabilities in subject info, can you copy one column of data into another column, example track to record number? So
So no, we can't do that currently. So the new copy paste functionality allows you to only copy one cell basically. So you can, you know, copy anything. So whatever you have in your clipboard, your Windows clipboard, can be pasted into multiple cells. So you can click on a column heading and do a paste. You can,
right,
you know,
could use
control click on
change
individual
field.
cells and
Yeah.
paste, but we can't copy multiple cells. But this one is a pretty well-defined operation. Here you're trying to just copy entirely from one column to another. So maybe that's something we can come back and take a look at then.
Okay, good, thank you. So the next question is from Karen Appel. Is there a way to resequence for the entire lab without setting for each user? Yes.
And I think it was already answered, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, she said
So in
basically
that,
just creating it at the system setting
yeah,
level.
so so if I created I'll just modify this one. I did it at the level of user, but I could have chosen to do it a system, and that would have been for everybody. Okay, so the next question. Oh, I didn't see that. Thank you, Tom. Already answered. Okay. Output to Windows to a Windows printer. I am on DP2 24.0.5. So I think you're going to need to be on 24.1.2, George, to get that color management for the output to Windows printer, right? Isn't that what the version that it was in, folks? No?
Yes, it was.
I don't know off the top of my head, no.
Yeah, it was done.
That's okay, Pete knew. Okay, thanks, Pete. Okay. When windows are minimized, this is from Andrew, when windows are minimized, they could always default to the second position, meaning the render engine would always be in position 1 all the way to the left. All the other windows would minimize to the right of that. Oh, like a pecking order, sort of like order of importance. Is that what you're going for, Andrew?
Well, what it does currently is, yeah, I think so. But if you minimized multiple dialogues, kind of like what you're seeing down there, you didn't place those windows down there at those spots.
Nope.
So it'll keep positioning them across the screen. But like David's, actually, who is this? Anyways,
Andrew.
Andrew, okay. We could just start a little further over. So, but I'm not sure exactly, you know, where we would, yeah, you know, it depends how much of that status bar, you know, we want to leave viewable when we do this. I guess you could start from the right, maybe something like that.
Yeah, you know what, Andrew? Yeah, maybe Andrew, if you if you wouldn't mind terribly, is putting a ticket in the system. Oh, wait, I see. To avoid covering the minimize window in the status message at the bottom. Oh, just adding. Okay. All right. He's just giving us ideas, right? Not in order of importance, just so they don't cover each other. And maybe the render engine could be centered.
Okay.
So they're giving us extra information. Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Andrew. All right. So Leon would like to know, can I find and replace across all fields in the subject info data table? Can I find and replace? I'm not really sure I understand that. So maybe Leon, I'm going to find you in the attendee list. And if you don't mind, I'll ask you to unmute and you can maybe clarify that question a little bit. Let's see. Well, there you go. You should be unmuted, Leon. Oh, if you're talking, we can't hear you. Oh, we don't have a mic. I'm sorry. Okay. Can you just put into the question pod, Leon, maybe clarify that a little bit? What you mean by find and replace across all fields in the subject info data table? So you're looking to search for a particular thing and then replace that particular thing in all the fields. Is that what I'm understanding? So let's say I wanted to put Sophie here, or I wanted to search her. A second to find and replace.
It sounds like a feature pad in a lot of Microsoft products where you have a find and replace and it just swaps text. Yeah.
Okay. So Leon, maybe we might circle back to you.
You're talking about the change
Well,
field.
we have we have the change field. I brought it up earlier. But that is done by field.
Yeah. So
right?
this is more across all fields.
Field, right? So this works if you're only replacing a value in a specific field, but he's saying all fields, right? Can I find and replace across all fields in the subject info data table? So yeah, you're absolutely right, Guy. That's a new feature. Yeah.
Does anybody know?
Thank you, Liam. Because
I don't know what that means.
So what I'll probably do is, okay, if I have a value in P1, P2, I can only change one field at a time. Yeah. What he wants to be able to do is change the value wherever it appears, right?
Using copy and paste or something, or
I don't know. I think that's up to us, maybe.
Not specifically copy paste, no, but maybe. I mean, I guess you could do it through this change field dialog as a way.
Right. If I hit Control F, right, in Notepad++, it'll continue to find them, and I can change them as I go, right? Is that what you're thinking about, Leon? It sounds like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, basically you can say all fields in that.
And I'm saying yes, if you can all see the question pod. Yeah, but Leon is actually giving me that information in the question pod. So what we'll do when we're done is we will take this question pod and we'll bring it back. Maybe Leon, one of us can circle back to you and get more information on it. Okay. So that is that's the end of the questions that were in the question pod.
Actually, we skipped over a couple there, Pat.
We did? Where?
Yeah. First we had
okay.
We had David with a fairly broad question. What is a feature you are surprised that more people are not using?
Oh, okay, I don't see that. Okay.
It's a good question, pretty broad.
It is. Oh, I see, it's way up here. Yep, sorry, David. So I think that's a general question to the development team.
You mean you're not using all the features? Boy, that's a question that varies by lab. You know, I get to talk to a fair number of labs, and I'm surprised that certain labs don't use a certain feature, and then other labs use features I wouldn't expect. It's a lot of times I think that's an educational problem. Sometimes people don't know about it, or.
How about that new feature of creating composites, Pat, that we put in a couple years ago?
Oh, the layouts, you mean?
Yeah.
Is that, no, I don't knows? That's a good point. I think there
The
are,
non-pattern way, Dave, is that what you're thinking?
yeah, there's,
Right.
it's
I don't know.
it's a slower,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a slower
I'm curious how
migration
many
than I
people
would
are
have
using it.
thought. Yeah, yeah. And sometimes change is hard, right? Sometimes labs have a way of doing it and they have adapted to the patterns, and they're hesitant to move away from the patterns, right? It's hard to believe that you don't have to use the patterns after years and years of using them. And I've gotten that feedback, but that's a good point. That's a good one.
You know what reminds me, guys, of an opportunity to remind our partners on the call of, we're available always to, spend a little bit of time with you, have you walk us through your workflow. And that always gives us an opportunity to say, hey, do you know about this feature? Or do you know about this other way of doing the same thing? So it's a really good question that instantly reminded me of, you guys are always welcome to take advantage of training, even if it is just a walkthrough, so that we can help you best assess if you're missing anything. If that's helpful, we are certainly here for that.
Okay. Did I miss any other questions,
We
Brian?
did have one more missed. George Campos, he just said, very curious as to what we did in 24.1.
In terms of,
Well,
another
I
pretty
suspect
broad question.
what really answers this is if we can maybe share the what's new, or when we think we're going to get it out the door, so we can have a preview.
I
It's
think
in
Pat
help
touched
now.
on quite a few things during her, she covered a lot of different things, but as she was going through, she mentioned a few that were 24.1 specific. This column thing that we're talking about, the field sequence thing, is 24.1. We had a good conversation about that as maybe one of the big ones. And the XML and JSON command importer, that's a 24.1. But we'll get the release posted on Monday if all our final testing goes well tomorrow. And if there's nothing small that we want to address that came up during the demo and discussion today, we'll get it out Monday or Tuesday at the latest, and we'll have the full list there for everybody of the what's new and cumulative changes.
Right. The other ones are the changes
email that to you.
composites. Yeah. Okay, so we are closing in on the end of the time that we said we were going to be on, and I know you guys want to address the Windows, the things that were going on with Windows in recent weeks. So I'll hand off to whoever.
You want to take that, Tom?
He's gone.
I don't see his camera.
Where did he go?
I guess it's yours, Brian.
Okay.
Wasn't that convenient?
Well,
yeah, no kidding.
yeah. Boy, hanging us out to dry.
Mhm.
Told us earlier. Oh yeah, I'll cover that one.
Perfect timing on his part, huh?
So I'll just hit
Yeah.
a kind of high level. Obviously, we had some mass emails go out to try to inform all of you of this problem we saw. Had to do with one of Microsoft's updates that it rolled out on their Patch Tuesday. So I can't remember exactly what date that would be. I think it's the second Tuesday of the month. So it was around about Wednesday we started hearing about these things. It was causing DP2 to not be able to display some of its HTML windows. And it probably has to do with something that Microsoft changed in the way, probably for security purposes, not really sure. Kind of started to engage with Microsoft on it a little bit, but we thought we had found some workarounds that we started deploying as quickly as we could. So we never really got to a point with Microsoft where they could actually explain to us what they changed or why. So we did put I believe we put out a put a fix into version 24.1. We put out a patch, and Pete or Vic can probably comment even more specifically on this, because you guys have Confluence articles, I think, in the service help desk, right?
Yes, you can just go into the knowledge base and type in keyword Windows and take that choice, and that'll give you all the information as well as a zip file that contains the patches.
And I think when Pete says patches, you have to look a little bit at what version am I running. This might be fairly straightforward if you're running a very recent version, but I believe there's some extra steps you have to do. I think if you were earlier than version 21, and then I think there was even more extra steps if you were maybe version 17 or earlier, something close to that. I'm sure it's explained in the knowledge base articles.
Tom's back on the call, and I think whoever is sharing can right click on him and make him an organizer, or just open his line.
Yep. Let's see.
I don't know if there's any.
Did you unmute Tom? He said he needed to be unmuted. Kathy, did you unmuted?
No, he can unmute.
No, he can unmute.
Tom, you should be able. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I came back as an attendee instead. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yeah. So what happened is we lost power at the house. Everything is out.
Oh.
So I'm back on my phone, but when I came in, I was an attendee, so I couldn't unmute myself.
Right. Yeah.
So, however, I thought Brian was doing a great job with the answer to the question.
I think
I will. Go ahead.
I think there was a couple of more things I wanted to mention. One is that for the most part, the resolution of the problem was either the patches that we released, or you could uninstall the Windows Update. Now that's not the uninstall of Windows Update is a little bit difficult because, first of all, it may get pushed down to you again. And we really don't want you to we're not trying to recommend you just stop taking Windows Updates. That's not a very good plan. And secondly, it depends on what version of Windows, Windows 10, Windows 7, Windows Server. It's a different Windows Update number. So we can't just give you one number of the update to uninstall. If you tell us what version of the OS that you're running, we could probably look it up for you. And the one other thing, we are hearing about just this morning, some people running Windows Server 2016. And they were continuing to have problems even with the patch we had released. So we've got a little bit of digging on our side to figure out exactly what's going on there. Maybe it has to do with Server 2016. Maybe it has to do with a specific combination of Server 2016 and certain other either Microsoft products or updates or other things like that you either have or haven't installed. So stay tuned on that. If you're running 2016 and you're still having trouble, well, frankly, if you're running any version and you're still having trouble with this and you don't feel like our patches are working, be sure to put in a service desk ticket and we can get back to you. Tom, I don't know how much of that you missed early on. Do you have anything else to add?
I could hear the whole thing. I just couldn't speak because I was not unmuted by the organizer. But so I don't think there's anything else left to add at this point.
Okay.
Did you all hear that? Okay.
Yeah, we got that.
We did.
Sorry. Yeah.
It is true. It is true that the build that we're releasing next week has the fix in it. So you won't need the patch when you take the new one.
Okay.
Very good. Seems like maybe we've gotten to the end of the open mic, everybody. Any last questions?
No, I don't think there are any more questions. Penny would like to know when we're having our 8-year reunion.
I know.
We can do
That's
one
nice.
person I know.
It would be so nice.
Yeah.
But I want to, on behalf of the whole team here, I want to thank everybody attending and staying with us for the 2.5 hours. We do enjoy getting together with you virtually. We would love to get together with you again in person soon, and maybe we will. So thanks again for your time today. Watch for 24.1, the release and the what's new documentation early next week. And if you're excited as we are about K-Pro Connect and how easy that looks to map your products in DP2 to the catalog offerings you want to do in the portal, please go to that website and do a sign up there, or talk to Dave, Shelp, or Kathy, or that police detective. Don't worry about him, he won't bother. And we'd love to get working with you to help you get set up with Connect as well. So thank you, everybody. Thanks to our team here too. You guys did a great job today. Thank you.
Thank you,
See
everyone.
everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
All
Take
right.
care.
Bye now.
Bye.